If you have absolutely zero appointments inside your agency, then you literally have no business. You're not running a business. If anything, you're just a slave to your work. And that's okay, because that's the exact same situation that I was in. I was putting in so much sweat equity to actually book appointments, but at the end of the day, I didn't have the right systems to think through. I didn't have the right paradigms to think through in order to actually make my business what I wanted it to be and what I actually wanted out of it. So it basically just went nowhere, right? And so that's exactly what I want to share with you today. I want to show you exactly how you can not make the same mistake as I did and how you can book around 3 to 7 appointments a day completely on autopilot with your own agency. I'll go through the systems, the processes, how to hire the right people, how to train the right people. I'll show you absolutely everything in this short video today. But something I want to kind of get across to you is that you're not a business owner if you're doing all the brute force things yourself yet. Like, you need a little bit of leverage inside your business. And so that's where the automation side of things that I'm going to show you today is going to help you. And I'm going to show you how to book all these appointments, but it's not just about the systems. It's not just about the appointments. All of the big entrepreneurs in the space say it the best. It's that if you don't have appointments on your calendar, if you don't have a full calendar, you don't have a business. It's that simple. You do not have a business, because it's not just about appointments. It's about having a real business that solves real problems, that's actually scalable. And so before we get into the actual breakdown, I want to ask you a question. And hopefully before we get into all this is going to help you kind of get a good bit of foundation. I want to make sure you're targeting the right people, and by targeting the right market segment, so who are you actually targeting? So who can afford this? You know, if you're charging really high ticket, you want to go after people who have money, right? Who can you deliver the best results? Is it people that are already making 5K a month, people that are already doing 10 deals a month? That's something that you need to already have solidified, honestly, before you watch the rest of this video, because that's very, very, very important. Who are you targeting? Are you targeting the right people? Can they afford your service? And who can basically derive the best results from your service? So how can you book 100 appointments a month plus 5,200 appointments a month plus completely automated, right? Completely automated systems, and these are the exact systems basically that you need to facilitate to actually get to this amount, okay? And obviously here's my calendar from when I was inputting the exact same infrastructure in order to book around 3 to 7 appointments a day. The first thing I obviously want to touch on is, like, you have to look at your business through the right paradigm, because even if you are booking 100 plus appointments a month, but you don't have the right insights and you don't have the right product, okay, or you don't have a good offer, or you don't know how to increase your show up rate or increase your closing rate, this is basically going to give you $0, okay? You're going to make no money on this, right? So you actually need the right systems to think through. You need the right experiences as a business owner to actually facilitate growth from this amount. And so that's basically the thing that takes someone, like, information. If you give information to one guy, he makes no money, but if you give the same information to another guy, he basically makes $1 million, right? Just because of the systems that he thinks through. He takes the principle, but he has all the foundations. And so if you haven't built some of the foundations, this is not going to do much for you, okay? But I'm going to show you exactly how you can fix that and have the most thriving business you'll have, booking a ton of appointments and what to actually do with the appointments, how to get them to show, how to get them to close, how to automate the system, basically using this infrastructure right here. And I'll basically go through every step of it with you, okay? So first I want to talk about AI, because it's a huge shiny object in this, basically in this industry. And I want to show you how it leads to, and it doesn't really help you. Like, it does help you make a lot more money in the sense that you can add this into your service and basically do a lot more for your clients, meaning you can charge a lot more for what you do. And you're basically solving more problems. So you build out an AI triager. But the thing that I'm going to show you today is going to allow you to take this infrastructure, if you build AI solutions, build AI systems, infrastructures, and basically force a ton of appointments onto your calendar. As I said, if you don't have appointments on your calendar, if it's not full at all, you don't have a business. You're basically just working a 9 to 5. You're working a job. And so I want to take your offer that you've already built, if this is what you do, but I just want you to realize that these shiny objects, AI, is not going to force a bunch of calendars, or force a bunch of actual appointments onto your calendar, and it's not going to get you to where you want to be. Like, yeah, it's just another shiny object fulfillment thing on the side of things, right? Now, I want to actually start getting into the actual system itself, right? So the system is called Blitz dialing. So how do we actually implement the Blitz dialing infrastructure, the Blitz dialing system? All right. Now, I want you to realize is there's literally no better way. If you have an amazing product, which obviously you get an amazing product by having insights, building systems, inputting, like gathering the right team, gathering the right people, and I'll show you how to do that today. But there's nothing better than to just speak directly to your target customer to make money. Like, there's nothing better you can do. If you have a no-brainer offer, no-brainer product, there's nothing better that you can do than to just speak directly to them, which is why we're going to do exactly what we're going to do with the Blitz dialing infrastructure. Now, of course, the old way of basically cold calling is there's really low pickup rates. Your number gets flagged, your spam risk, and that's exactly what happened to me. And I was literally so close to quitting just because all of my calls were saying spam risk, and I absolutely was so near quitting. I was so near failure. And also, they're just calling straight from Google Maps, getting through to a bunch of gatekeepers, getting through to a bunch of landlines, people not answering. And basically, the volume is just completely unsustainable because you'll realize in order to actually book a lot of appointments, you're going to need a lot of volume, okay? Because volume negates luck. But as you start to do this more, you'll realize that your work output actually goes down. And that's because it takes a lot of volume to facilitate the actual growth that you want from the infrastructure. And so you yourself, because it takes the best systems, it takes a lot of courage, and it takes a heck of a lot of volume. So you need a really huge work ethic to be able to facilitate actual growth with this. And by the time you've done it yourself, there's just no other time to focus on other areas that matter, which is exactly the position I found myself in. Okay, I was spending so much time just trying to book appointments for myself, my agency, and none of the time went to building product. When if all of that energy that I inputted into actual booking appointments, if I could have outsourced that and had a real business and then focus on product side of things and building something great, I would have made so much more money. And so today we're going to fix all of those problems and we're going to solve all of them together. So first you need insights. You need to know what to do, which is obviously the process that we're going to show you today. I'm going to show you today is how do you build a good cold calling system and how do you outsource it and automate it. Okay, so you have that, and then the next thing you're going to need is processes. Okay, and so this is what are the processes going to look like. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to create a calendar, okay, specifically for cold calling. And so the way you're going to name it is could be offer, okay, offer, company name, and then you're obviously just going to name it cold calling, okay, because you want every single calendar to have separate, to be connected to different acquisition channels. You don't want one guy to come in from ads, one guy to come in from cold calling, one guy to come in from outbound. And by the way, those are the three things, if you're watching this video, you're probably doing right now. You're doing cold outreach, you're running ads, or you're working on content. But as I said, the best way is just speaking directly to the person, right? So you're going to create a calendar specifically for cold calling so that you can keep track of every single person that books into your calendar from cold calling. You know the actual numbers. Then you're going to realize that we want personal numbers, right? So we want personal phone numbers. Okay. The way that we're going to do this is we're going to scrape directly from LinkedIn. Okay. Scrape directly from LinkedIn per city, and we want to do 1,000 per time. If you're using most like lead scraping softwares are only going to allow you to do around 1,000 leads at a time. And so it's going to scrape 1,000 and we're going to look for 1,000 per city so that we can basically just go unlimited, right? Now we have like unlimited contacts because we can just do 1,000 per time. We can remove their landlines using a tool called landline remover, right? We remove all the landlines. Now we have a bunch of unlimited personal phone numbers, right? Then the thing that you're going to do, you're going to sign up for Google Voice, okay? You're going to get a local phone number, okay? Your phone numbers are not going to say spam risk. It's going to be local. If I call you, I'm in West Virginia, you're in Florida, and it shows 681, you're going to be like, who's this guy? I'm not going to call, I'm not going to answer, and then you're just going to hang up on me, right? And that's why your pickup rate's so bad. So this is going to increase our pickup rate because we're using a local number that's local to them. Then what we're going to do is before we call everyone, we're going to send SMS. We're going to send SMS, and then we're going to double dial, okay? And then if they don't answer, we're going to leave a special voicemail that obviously all of our partners and internal clients get access to. That's going to allow them, basically just going to ensure that they call you back. Now, in order for all this to work, we're obviously going to need proven scripts, okay? We're going to need to increase our show rate and increase our closing rate. Obviously, most people think cold calling, they think their closing rates and show up rates are going to be absolutely horrible. But the way you're going to do this is to increase the show up rate, we're going to pre-frame using our script. So we're going to say, hey, listen, just so you know, is this time completely 100% okay for you? And there's obviously other things that we do inside of what we do to actually pre-frame the show to get a lot more percentage of these people to actually show up. And then we obviously send them long form assets, VSLs, mechanism breakdowns to basically just warm them before the actual meeting, ensuring that they're going to actually block the time for their calendar, right? We pre-frame that, and then we want our closing rate to be 30 to 40% at the highest amount we can charge. And so essentially you just test price until you get to around a 30 to 40% close rate. Now, the way that we build this is that we take our offer, which is a no-brainer, and we take our product and we sell the meeting. We just sell the meeting. And obviously there's ways that we personalize this and build this for each person, but you're going to essentially take what's good about your business and just sell the meeting and tie it to the dream state. So you're going to tie it to everything that they wanted. And so essentially this comes down to what problem are you solving, because it comes from problem solution, right? So there's a problem, how do you solve it? Is it how they want you to solve it? Is it unique? Is it something difficult that nobody else in the market is wanting to do because it's so hard? That's what will make you a lot of money and get you a lot of the bigger piece of the market, right? And so I want you to look at these couple things. First of all, you have what they want and what they need. And it's very simple, as it says in nearly every video. You just give them what they need and you sell them what they want. Very simple. And so that you don't have a demand problem. Because if you have a demand problem, nobody wants your thing, then fulfilling isn't even on a top list of priorities, right? You need demand. And so the long form assets that we're going to use to increase our show up rate and our closing rate are basically going to be these. So what the long form assets are going to do are basically going to do two important things. So one, they're going to generate free attention, right? They're going to generate free attention. And two, they're basically just going to warm prospects before every single call. They're going to warm the prospects, and they're going to basically make them so much warmer whenever you actually close them, so you can make it basically like a no-brainer for them. It can be easy, objectionless. So what you're going to do in these is you're going to handle all their, pre-frame all their objections, handle all their objections, give testimonials, give case studies, show why your thing is different, how you're doing it, give free value, stuff like that, right? So that's how we're going to handle our long-form assets. How it's going to increase our show-up rate, and the things that it's going to generate us. So now that you have the actual processes, you need the next thing, right? Which is very important, and that's systems. Because none of this is going to work if you're not a good entrepreneur and you're not good at doing these two very important things. Okay, so this essentially comes to good systems, good SOPs, being able to create a good opportunity for yourself to have good talent that actually delivers really great results. Comes down to two things, which is good execution, right, and good documentation. That's it. Good execution. Can you do the thing good? And then how well can you document the thing, every single thing to absolute T? Everything has to be, if you can't document absolutely A to Z from how you went from this to get to here, you will not be able to automate anything. You can say goodbye to automation because you won't be able to do it if you can't document everything that you did. And so that's when we get to actually hiring team and building people, this is something they absolutely have to have, because if they don't have these things, for one, they won't know how you're going to do you're doing the thing, and two, they're not going to know why. And so it's like if you bring a sales rep on that's closing a lot of money for one company, and then you bring him into your own company and he doesn't close any, but you are not closing it all, you're going to wonder why you're making no money. But it's like, well, it's pretty obvious you can't do the job yourself, right? And so you want to get this to a T. You want to get this to the point where you can have a 5-year-old do it. You can have a child do the job, okay? Just because everything's so systemized, everything is broken down into SOPs and everything, to where somebody can just come in who's already, of course, experienced, give them everything, give them training. Why is this being done? How is this being done? You train them on everything, and then you just basically let them rip, right? And so these things are what's going to take you from having no appointments and no money to having an absolute thriving business, tons of appointments on the completely packed calendar, amazing team and ecosystem of people that you love and the people that love you. Just basically complete financial freedom. So the next thing that you're going to need, which is probably the most important piece of the puzzle, is people. And people are so important. People is what makes the business. But you can't expect people to, be good if you're not good yourself as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. Because let's look at the two things that actual investors look at when investing into companies. For one, they invest in people. How good is the people on their team? How good is the entrepreneur themselves? Can I make a bet on this person? And then, of course, what are their insights like? Do they know something that a lot of other people don't know or haven't implemented yet? And so those are the two really important things. But the things that we're going to have to look at as for building people, hiring people, are, for one, we're going to need to source them. Okay, so you can do this. You can do groups on like Facebook. You can run ads to source talent, and you can also get referrals. Okay, now referrals are one of my personal favorites. Let's say you onboard a cold caller, they have an amazing experience, you have a great company culture, they're making a decent amount of money, and then they're just like, well, John would like this too. Like, he'd be an amazing fit for this position. Let's get him on it too. I'd like to work with him. And so they end up working together. And so you just get referrals as it goes for hiring talent. And then, of course, you have to qualify them. And so you do this, you obviously take applications and you review all the applications. And then you're also implementing something called a hiring VSL that automatically is going to preset all of their expectations for the position and why they're going to be a good fit. And if they're not a good fit, don't apply. And then you review all the applications, and then you actually have to train them, right? Which is, you could have ramp up trainings that they have to watch before they even have a call with you. You could have live trainings. You could have, obviously, like shadowing sessions with already, like, people that you've already onboarded, and then you'll have your weekly calls, right? And this is what you need in order to train the people. Now, next is just management, right? How can you manage the people? So we're going to need incentives, okay? We're going to need end-of-day reports, because what's not tracked didn't get done, okay? We're going to need end-of-day reports. We may even implement something called work forms, okay? So they're tracking every single hour of their work. We're going to want a good payment structure, right? Are they only getting paid commission? How much commission? Is it 50 to 60 bucks per closed deal? Is there a base salary? Was it $4 to $5 an hour? Or as I said, is it commission, right? Is it commission or is it base? How are you structuring the payment in order for them to actually see some upside for themselves? And then obviously, what's the opportunity like for them? You're selling the dream to prospects, and you're also selling the dream to your team, believe it or not, in order for them to believe, hey, I have a lot of opportunity in this position. And then, of course, how many days a week are you communicating? Is it every Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Are you communicating every single day? Okay? So communication schedule, and then how well can they take feedback, right? Are you reviewing their calls, telling them, hey, would have done this better, you should do this next time? And are they actually taking that feedback and doing something about it? Now, obviously, if you implement all of this and automate everything, then you're going to have an actual business. And what that's going to allow you to do is focus on things that matter. Focus on things like product. Focus on things like staying up to date on where the market's going and how you can have a good offer that's a no-brainer for people, okay? Maybe you want to focus on acquisition and on the paid ad side of things, okay? You need to learn, you need to focus more on learning, because as Mark Zuckerberg says, he who focuses on learning and learning faster can basically beat all the competition and make the most money because they can build a better product than everyone else. Or maybe you need to focus on building and structuring team, handling all your weekly calls, handling your team training sessions, maybe reviewing sales calls, and also just hiring and firing, right? Hiring and firing. Hire fast, fire fast. Sourcing, qualifying, training, vetting talent. Whether it be VAs, appointment setters, client success managers, closers, any position, you need to be hiring and firing fast, okay? So if you're interested in having this entire system personalized and built for you, as I said, just so you can generate, extra 100+ appointments a month completely on autopilot, well, this is exactly what we do. We're going to build and personalize this entire system completely for you. Then we're going to actually automate the entire thing by taking the fourth thing, which is actually people, and we're going to train, we're going to vet, and then we're going to train these people, and then we're going to give you give them to you, trained on all the systems that we've mentioned. So we're going to automate this entire process so that you can facilitate the growth that you want, so that you can be left to do the actual things that matter, okay? Which are these things right here. So if you're interested in having all this built out completely for you, by the way, it's all pay per. And this is not something I'm doing for a long time. It's literally just for the first 5 people who book onto the calendar. Okay, it's just for the first 5 people. And that's not like marketing. It's only for 5 people because it's pay on results basis, right? This entire thing I could charge, 10, 15 grand for. But I'm doing it completely for you on a pay per results, right? So front the system, I'll just take money on the back end. So if you want all these systems personalized, built out for you, as well as placed with the needed talent in order to actually facilitate the growth, just go into the description and literally just book a call, okay? Book a call, watch any of the needed content that you need to watch, and I will see you very soon, okay? I hope you enjoyed this video and took a lot of value out of it. If you don't actually end up booking a call, I hope that you take some steps to implement this system for yourself so you can get a lot more automated appointments and just add MRR into your already existing revenue already. So anyways, I'll see you guys later. Peace.